Hello, hello. So yeah, I'm doing this funny thing right now where I put myself out in front of like people and like showing up and sharing stuff, and yeah, it trips me out a little bit. But hi, here I am. My name is Nicole. I am a mindset coach. I just work with people to kind of bridge a gap between that feeling really shitty and feeling dark and feeling depressed and having anxiety and feeling the depression and all of these things that, that stress that happens from just everyday life. And I say, hi, I'm Nicole, come here. Let me show you over here. Like, if you look way over there, there's sunshine and rainbows and there's like all this stuff going on. I don't live there, but I live close to it. And I can, if you're bored with your darkness, come with me and let me show you a little bit of this little area over here where it's lighter, it's less stressful. I still have all the same things. I have all the same bills to pay, and I have all the same traffic to drive in, and I have three kids, and I have a big whiny dog, and Bob. Oh, you might hear Bob from time to time in these lovely videos because he joins me. He's lying over there, and he likes to have his say. He likes to put in his 2 cents. So you might hear him chomping on a bone or just whining, or maybe he's going to be like, hey, it's time to pay attention to me. So anyway, that's Bob. Um, so there's that. But yeah, so I am here to guide whomever wants guidance a little bit out of that darkness and much more into the light. So I'm just going to talk about it. A couple of things that really have come up over the last week for me. I have personally been going through some really huge changes, and it has brought on some very tumultuous pieces in my personal life as I grow my business, and I am in that business mode, and then there's personal mode, and there's a lot to handle in all of that. And it's been really nice to have the tools that I've got, right? And that's why I want to share it with you. And so one of the biggest things that have kind of come up is, well, fear in general, just like this fear. There's so much fear. There's fear of, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? Fear of, oh, I can't eat that food. Or there's just so much around, like, bubbling up this fear inside. And so taking that, like, let's look at the food one. Let's look at the fear of eating that food. Number one, there's a lot of food options out there. Choosing something that is more from the earth, that is more hearty, that has vitamin and minerals in it, that isn't created in a lab, those are big pieces already. So do a little research around that. Eating more from the earth will help you stay more connected and more grounded. It will give you the nutrients that is necessary to fuel your life. We need to fuel because we're expending so much. We're putting so much energy out. We want to put the energy back in. And the best way to do that is by eating decent, good food. However, there doesn't need to be this crazy fear. I can't eat that, and so said that, and I can't have gluten, and I can't. Relax on that a little bit. Tap into your intuitive desires. What is your body telling you you want? Be conscious about your decisions. If you walk into the gas station because you're getting gas and you see that giant donut sitting there and you're like, oh, I'm hungry, and instantly your mind doesn't even really talk to the rest of your body, is just like involuntarily grabbing the donut, and then it's paid for, and then you're in your car, and then you're shoving it in your face, and then you don't feel good in a little while, but you don't even remember actually consuming the donut. Like, it's so unconscious. So intuition and consciousness around what you are consuming, what you're putting in your body. And in that it does help because you're grounded and because it helps let go of the anxiety and release a lot of those the discomfort that we get from eating really shitty food is that anxiety, is depression. You literally, it causes depression. If you're just eating nothing but shit food that's created in a lab somewhere that doesn't have any kind of nutritional value to it, and you're expecting to be able to produce the most output in a positive and happy and good feeling kind of way, you're confused. So there's one piece of that. So really think about what you're consuming. And that goes deeper than just the food. It definitely does. But you don't have to be so fearful about it. Just be conscious about it and make better choices. That's all. And that's one of those things that's just going to help your overall feeling about life in general. Yeah, so intuition, I brought up that piece. What is intuition? Intuition is your inner guide telling you what to do, what you need, what's going to be best for you, or what's not going to work for you. But in order to hear that inner voice, you have to listen. You have to be willing to even know that it exists. We all have the power of intuition. It's the inner guide. It's sort of that inner God. Inner God. Your God is inside each and every one of us. And in that is the voice, and we are connected. And then we're all connected. But it starts at the heart. It starts within, and it starts with your inner voice, that voice that wants to tell you what's going to help make your life amazing. Because why wouldn't your inner voice want to live an amazing life also? Why wouldn't that internal being, your soul, want to live an amazing existence inside of this meat suit that is having fun and enjoying itself? So inner guide, intuition, get a little bit quiet from time to time and ask the specific question. It can be about, what do I want for breakfast? What do I need right now that's going to satiate me and help me get through the next few hours in a positive, healthful, feel good kind of way? Your intuition is there to tell you. If you ask that inner voice, do I want this giant donut, or do I want an avocado and a slice of toast? Or whatever other thing, that's just what I like. I like apples and peanut butter. I like avocado and toast and fruits and nuts and these things that are also very convenient you can have with you. You just have to have a little bit more planning, and that's okay to have a little bit, have it planned out a little bit, have a few apples in the bowl on the counter, and, be prepared to take care of yourself a little bit better. So you ask that question, that inner voice, that intuition is going to tell you. And then you can take what it says and act upon that, or you can shut it up and grab the donut and go. But later on, when you're feeling shitty and you're crashing and you're beating yourself up because you're trying to cut back on sugar and you're trying not to eat so much starchy, gross stuff like that, but you're beating yourself up because you did it again, don't complain about it. Take note of it so that you can then remember for next time when you ask the question and the voice gives you the answer. Maybe you can choose the banana over there instead of the nasty donut that leaves the film on the backsides of your teeth and it makes you feel like shit. I mean, it's a total choice. It's your choice, and that's the free will part. So you will learn to tap into the intuition and then utilize your free will in a way that's going to be beneficial rather than in a way that's going to be detrimental and inevitably end you up on medications and with diabetes and all that. That's extreme, but it's a possibility. And so when you learn to balance that out by listening to the voice, using your free will to hear, to act upon what the voice has to say, and then making better choices, and you will start feeling better. And the more you start doing that and the better you start to feel, then maybe you'll start really taking care of yourself and exercising, doing other things. It's all this amazing sort of, it's that trickle down effect. And then all of a sudden, you've hardly done anything and you're feeling better about your body, you're feeling better in your mind, all of these things. So that too brings you out of the fear zone. It'll start bringing you out of anxiety and depression because you're starting to feel better. You're getting a little bit more outside time because you like to go on a walk now, like all of these things. This is a big, broad spectrum here that we're covering. And in other videos, I'm going to break it down and we'll get a little smaller. But for right now, it's like explaining how to move out of fear, out of anxiety, out of depression by moving into this zone. And one of the biggest pieces is tapping into intuition and treating yourself more better. I got some notes. So in all of that, I have given you lots of information just in that little bit. But in that, the next thing that's coming up that I needed to share today is about excuses. Excuses. Oh my Lord. We can talk ourselves out of anything. For some reason, we like to talk ourselves out of doing the good things for ourselves, but we can really come up with some amazing and creative ways of like keeping ourselves stuck. It's really wild. And because I do what I do, and I talk to a lot of people, and they will come, they tell me that what they're disliking about their life, they're telling me about their dis-ease, and I'm like over here going, oh yes, I have a tool for that. Oh my gosh, let me just tell you about this. And I will offer the information. It's not for me to make anybody do anything, but I can offer the information, and it's so interesting to hear. Like, there are people that say that they want the help, and they're there, and they're, they seem to be very present. But anytime you give them a little tip on how to make things different, because they don't like the way things are, they come up with this story around why not, why they can't, why that doesn't work for them. Oh my gosh, this one that I keep hearing from one particular person is, I am different from you. Just because that worked for you, and mind you, millions of other people, because these are tried and true. This isn't just stuff that I'm pulling out my arse and handing it over to you. Like, this is stuff that only I've done. These are things that are tried and true. I've just compiled these things that have worked really well for a lot of people, and I pass them on. So here's this thing, and I've got this complaint from this person about what's going on in their life that they are just having such a hard time with. I'm like, okay, well, first off, like, what do you see that you could do differently around that to change, the vibe around it? Nothing. It is what it is the term that I hear. Wait, oh, I can't do it. It is what it is. It is what we make it. It is what we make it. It is our choice. It just is what it is, and that's it. And there's no other way to do things. No, there's always options. There's way to tweak things. So anyway, the point is, I can't do that. It's like, well then, enjoy that in which you hate right now in your life, or live miserably. That's totally fine. I am not anyone to force you to not live in your misery. And it seems that that's very comfortable for you, because every time I want to share something with you that may maneuver you out of that misery, you give me an excuse. So excuses, if you can take a minute and sit back and look where are you making an excuse in your life? Where are you making an excuse for staying in a really uncomfortable place? Can you feel it? Can you start becoming aware of that? You can. It just takes the desire. And it's a choice. Again, it's always a choice. So, are you making a ton of excuses around why not to do better, but hear yourself constantly complaining about how things are? Take a moment and check in with yourself. Another really, really, really great tool to help start, really, this is just getting the ball rolling stuff. This is just the beginning pieces of you are noticing that you don't feel great. You are noticing that things aren't necessarily going the way that you were hoping that they would go, or you're seeing that you're not in a place now where you maybe thought that you would be when you looked forward into the future back then. And you're like, what the hell happened? What am I doing? Where am I? This is not where I thought that I would be at this stage in my life. Okay, so you are becoming aware that you want things to change up a little bit. Now, for whatever reason, a lot of people are very fearful of change. We have a tendency to get very, we'll use the word stuck, but we get complacent in an uncomfortable situation. But our everything, our mind, our body, we get very comfortable with that. So it's almost like that comfort zone, but at the same time, it's very uncomfortable. And in order to actually make real change, it's going to get even more uncomfortable, but in a different way. And so often we'll start making changes and we'll start doing things, and then we'll actually start to get better and feel better, but that's so much outside of our awareness of anything we've experienced before that it gets freaky, and then we backslide. And that is a thing that happens, and it is okay. But if you really want to make change, and you do, like there's systems that are out there that you can follow these particular things. And when you get here, you have support. Like, that's what I do. I just provide the systems, and then I provide the support, and I give you the kick in the ass that you need from time to time, and I'll, be the shoulder to cry on for a minute, and then we give you another kick in the ass and get you going. So find that for yourself. Find yourself a mentor, a coach, or give me a call, whatever that is. But find that for yourself. So journaling is where I was going with it next. So the next step in all of that. So you're starting to you're becoming aware that you're uncomfortable in the situation that you're in. Sit down with pen and paper and write it out. What feels yucky? What are you over in your life? What is feeling stagnant? What is making you feel anxious? Sit down for 20 minutes and give yourself that time and write it out. That's it. Step number one in that. Then you're going to be, again, more aware of like your intake of the foods and the things that you're doing, even the energy. Next video is all about energetics and the flow of your energy and where you're putting out and where you're getting it back from, because every person that you spend time with or every activity that you take part in, those are all energetic flows. So anyway, that's for next time. So stay in the journal mode. Get it all written out. You're becoming more aware of the things that you're doing that are causing your discomfort, your dis-ease, your foods, and all of that. So you're just becoming aware, and then journal it out. That's all I'm going to give you in this video because it's been a big one. I'm going to break it all down into little bite sizes as we go. So for that purpose, I do ask you to subscribe. I do ask you to get the notifications so that you know when a new video comes out so that you can check it out, because this is all about providing you with the valuable tools, tricks, hacks. They're not hacks. I don't do hacks. I don't think you can call them that if you want. I want to help you feel better about yourself in your life, in your skin, and you don't have to live in anxiety and fear. And we do live in a world of duality. It's extreme over here and it's extreme over there, and that can be a lot. It can be so much to work with on a daily basis. So we're getting out of that, and I want to bring you over here to this place where you can live your life with a sense of freedom. And the freedom comes from within, and the love comes from within, and all of those things come from within. And I want to show you how that can happen. So join me. Again, subscribe and notify and all of the things. My name is Nicole Freedom Heart, Nicole Be Happy. These are some of my ways that you can find me if you want to on other social media platforms. But right here, right now, I send you so much love from my heart to yours. Ciao.